Alright, as you can probably tell from the sound, it's rain. And the forecast for tomorrow, 100% chance of rain. Here's the situation. I got a pretty bad situation. The lake levels come up about probably 1.5 feet in the last 6 hours. This is what's left in my tent. You see the water level right up to the kayak. That's how much beach I have left. 1 tent's width. And it's still supposed to rain at least for another 36 hours. I gotta head down the lake there and head for that cabin and try to get in there. It's like the only dry spot left in this storm. Alright, in the storm. Falls. It's too hard to see. Big waterfalls falling in. Alright, refuge. Refuge is this cabin. There's a pretty serious waterfall going on over there. Spectacular stuff. The weather's serious, and I was just able to get a weather report, and it's pretty bad. They're issuing a major flood warning for Prince of Wales Island, especially in the south. Roads could flood out. Expecting unseasonably heavy rainfall and a stalled front right over top of me. Talking about 6 inches of rain in a couple of days. And the lake level, you can see it's already right up there. I've got the kayak tied up underneath the cedar tree right at the base of the cabin, but I might have to pull it up here on the deck actually, because as the lake level just keeps coming up, there's just not enough outlet here in this lake to get all the water out of here. And you can see across the lake one of the major and one of the many waterfalls just dumping water into the lake. So I think I'm here for tomorrow as well, and that just leaves me Monday, Tuesday, and most of the morning on Wednesday to get back to the Wednesday ferry. There's another ferry on Thursday, but I can't push it. The weather forecast said winds 25 miles an hour, gusting over 35 miles an hour in the Dixon entrance through Monday. So there's no way. I mean, I might be able to creep out to the coast on Monday afternoon, and that's my hope right now. But it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be big mile days to try to get back to the ferry in time. There's just no other choice. Just sit tight and let this blow through. Storm continues. This used to be a beach, and it used to be about 20 feet of beach. Now it's about 6 feet from going underneath the cabin. That huge waterfall just keeps supplying water into the lake. There's only one way out, and I'm sure it's a class 3, class 4 whitewater nightmare by now. Looks a little different than everything else. It's got this weird kind of almost a granite type of rock. There's a lot of sharp edges on it, and it's covered in a real fine, slippery green moss. Makes it doubly dangerous. Not much I can do about it. I've secured the kayak up on the deck and tied it to the wood pile. I've got a line inside. I've got a kerosene lantern working after about an hour of trying. So I've got a little bit of light. I've got some food. It's 8 o'clock at night. Weather report is for Rains heavy at times for the next 36 hours. Well, there's where the beach used to be. And if my kayak were up underneath the cedar tree, it would be mostly underwater right now. And it's supposed to get just heavier today. It hasn't stopped. These falls back in there. Here's the north end of the lake, completely underwater, trees, grass underneath me. This is what remains of my camp. The beach that I camped on is completely underwater. The meadow behind it is completely submerged. There's no place to pull out a few logs. I would have drowned down here. There's nowhere to go. There's only one place, and that's the cabin. I'm gonna head in there and see if I can't get a pink for dinner. Gotta shoot through there tomorrow to get out of here. It's high enough it's over the stringers, but alright, storm is over. Waterfalls are back to normal. The lake level's dropping. It's not underneath the cabin anymore. It was a 3-day storm. It rained almost constantly for 3 days. Wind was blowing 25, 30 knots across the lake at times. So pretty rough weather. I heard it was 40 knots, even gusting up towards 60 knots out on the Dixon entrance, so it was impossible. Still 1 hour away from high tide. You see I'm moving down the river. Water level's still about 5 feet higher than when I came in. High tide's the best chance of flattening out some of the rapids, but I can hear the rapids up there past the strainers, past that down wood, and I'm gonna have to check it out because there's not much of a portage on the side here. You can see it's just dense forest, so I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting a pretty rough ride down the rapids somehow. But it's got to be done to get out of here. I'm going out at extreme high tide, 17.6 feet, crest in about 50 minutes. So I'm hoping that that dampens down some of the whitewater I have to go through. But I have no idea what's down the canyon here, whether it's class 2 or whether it's class 4. I know there's some rocks in the way that I hauled up over. I'm hoping those are underwater by several feet by now. And then it's just a nice smooth shoot and spits me out at 12 knots. Right out into the bay down below, but I've got paddle leashed, I've got gloves on, I've got full battle gear. Everything I can do I've done. So from here I just shoot down the river and hope for the best and hope there's another entry in this tape. Hey, success! I'm on the other side of the rapids. I made it, and pretty happy about it. It was pretty shallow, and there was quite a few rocks to steer around. I caught a good rock right down the middle of the keel, and I know I lost a lot of gel coat on it, but I think it's pretty thick down there. I don't think I punctured the hole. I hopefully didn't puncture the hole. I've got a short section of rapids left. They don't look anything as bad as the one I just went through. I'll try to get a little video of what the rapids look from the downside end, and then move down into the salt and start my way back at about 40 miles to Ketchikan, and I've got about 48 hours to do it. These are the rapids I just came down. A lot of rocks, but nothing too severe. Maybe class 2 whitewater. My line was a little to the left here. To the left, but it's a good line, pretty safe. Funny, I encountered one boat I've seen. It's the first set of people I've seen in 8 days, and they're from Mercer Island and Port Angeles, and they say to me, "Hey, how's it going? Oh." You don't think they'd offer me like a cold drink or a sandwich, or ask me, "What do you need?" Nah. They just basically want to know where the best fishing is, where the best camping is, and get some information out of me and hit the road. So I guess I look pretty scruffy. They wouldn't want me on their boat or anywhere near enough that I could grab a hold of them and yank them off their boat or anything like that. People are funny, and then I meet people like Paul I met on the ferry, and he's moving to Alaska. He's been up here for years, and the first thing he'll ask me is, "What do you need? Can I give you a ride somewhere? You need a ride to the grocery store? You need to haul the kayak down to a launch site?" It's funny, yeah. Just a different group of people, I guess. But onward around that point, try to make it up the shoreline a bit, do the big crossing tomorrow morning very early. Got a significant fish on the line here. You're gonna like this. Halibut. One more time. We ain't done yet. There we go. There we go. Halibut. All of that, baby. Feels mighty good. Solves the food problem for the next couple days.